Warning, this podcast contains Nathan from Heroes. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Supergirl Season 3, Episode 1, Girl of Steel. I'm your host, Dom. Joining me, we have Nikki and Rachel. How's it going, guys?
Hi.
Could be better. Sorry about that.
Perfect.
I'm a little sick.
Perfect. just a little sick.
Just a little.
Well, I appreciate you joining us. Cleo, unfortunately, cannot make it tonight because she is probably at 10 o'clock at night on a beach in Florida right now.
She's in Disney World.
I know.
I heard there's a wine festival at Disney right now, so you can just imagine what she's doing.
Oh, yeah. So unfortunately, Cleo did miss the premiere, which is kind of sad. But she's also in Disney World, the happiest place on earth. So, you know,
how can you be sad? She's probably like, yeah, I'm missing one.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So for the season 3 premiere, what did you ladies think? Well, hold on. Rachel, what did you think of it?
What I think of it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like a mix of. It's like I was sad because at the beginning of the opening scene, and it kind of reminds you, hey, guess what? Mon-El's not there anymore. I was like, yeah, let's poke that wound some more and add some salt and lemon. Yeah, let's do that some more. But I understood where she was coming from. She was acting like a little baby, but I understood, how she felt and why she was doing it.
Right.
Because, she didn't want to go into her Supergirl persona means she didn't have to deal with the feelings she was having. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people do that. Yeah. They just split themselves and be like, I don't want to deal with my feelings right now.
They turn into a Kryptonian and fly around and forget everything that matters.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly
what
they do.
They don't, or they basically split into things. It's usually work. Like, I'm just going to focus all my energy into work so I don't have to think about what the shitty thing that just happened to me.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and it's not just for breakups, but it's for loss and various other things. It's the same kind of. Some people go on binge eating. Everybody handles it in different ways. A lot of people just change everything they are about themselves. They're just like, oh, I'm gonna cut my hair. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do that, and then it's not even the same person. It's completely different. It's like, what the hell just happened? So Kara kind of took on almost all of those except for the binge eating, but
no, she turned down the eating.
Yeah. For me, I really, really liked this episode. I think this was a great way to kick in the premiere. It's already setting a much darker tone for this season. I like darker toned stuff, so I understand it's not going to stay this way forever, but I feel like I'm really going to enjoy this arc. So we'll see where this goes.
I feel like this is the first. I mean, granted, it was on the CW last season, but I think feels like this is the first season the CW's actually taken the reins from the first season.
Yeah, because
does that make sense?
First season they had to deal with it's on another network and all that. Second season was kind of playing damage control. In a way, because they had to adopt it, and take what was already established and conform it to them. And then now this is the first season where they can kind of go off on their own. But Nikki, I didn't mean to cut you off at the beginning, but I kind of already know your direction, so that's why I wanted to save your opinion for last.
Yeah, I used very colorful language before we went live for this podcast about Kara in general. I'm not going to repeat it because I'm pretty sure a lot of people would be very upset with me. But the episode was okay for me anyways. Yeah. I'm not saying that I didn't enjoy it because I did. there were aspects of it that I was completely taken aback with, because I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. But when it came to Kara, at the end of the episode, Alex tells her how she really feels, and that's how I felt from the very get-go, apart from the first scene, which Rachel mentioned with the dream sequence. Every point after that, I wanted to just slap the shit out of Kara, Supergirl, whoever the hell she wants to be right now. But I just did not enjoy her, like, at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Like, I know that it's going to start off with her being in this particular attitude but going forward, it's going to change, because a lot of people spoke out to her saying, you need to get your shit together.
Yeah. And there's all different, like, ways that they all approached it. Maggie went for the direct approach. She just really laid into her, hit her with everything she had, and then on the way out, she was just like, and you're trying to forget Kara. Like, Kara is my favorite person. She's helped me more times than Supergirl.
Yeah, you mean Alex. Yeah, you said Maggie.
Yeah, Alex. But yeah. Yeah. And so I was just like, okay, yeah, that's that. And then you get John Jones, who comes in, and he tries appeasing to, her alien side, and, like...
He did more fatherly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of been the father figure for a very long time for both Alex and
But it was
Kara,
it was also the, I came here, and it was the relatable kind of, I came here, I did this, it appeased more to her, the alien aspect of her, and it was like, and I got here, and I flew around, and, I stayed up here, and I isolated myself. It's the only place I felt, like myself, and, I understand what you're doing, and, like... So they all handled different approaches to it. So
yeah, and I think she even opened up a little more to John, just because she could relate more to him. He was he lost his family, and she even asked, she's like, "Do you still dream about them?"
Yeah,
and so she having someone there that kind of went through this a little bit, and. No one's going to understand completely the decision she had to make. That was the toughest decision she's ever had to probably make so far.
Clark.
And
Clark said that he would have never been able to make that kind of sacrifice. He would have ended up keeping Mon-El, and things would have went awry in the bad way. The other person who approached her was James, but I think he went about it the wrong way. Completely wrong. Like, maybe if he would have contacted her in a different way and got her there, than paging her on the emergency pager kind of thing, it would have went better. But
well, because James tried to get her from the boss route. It wasn't from the friend, it wasn't from the compassion, the understanding, the relatable. He goes the business route. Like, you're not gonna do this. Well, this is your job. You need to do this. So. Yeah. We had all our main players all playing completely different roles, trying to appease to her, and I thought that was really interesting the way they handled that. But yeah, as soon as he used the pager to get her to come in for her deadline at work, I was just like, oh, this is not going to end well, James.
No,
not going to end well at all. And
it didn't. He's so lucky that she just didn't get pissed and decide to shove him a little bit.
Yeah, right off.
Which would have been a lot. Which would have been a lot of it, But he's just lucky that she didn't throw a punch. I don't mean literally, but I mean got physically mad at something, broke a table, broke the wall or something,
I mean, you also have to. I mean, I don't think they realize this is the first time Kara's ever been in love or had this kind of relationship. She doesn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
No.
She has all these feelings, and she's trying to work it out. Because she's used to working it out by herself. Very intellectual, very introspect, on herself. And so, she's used to helping everyone else. So when it comes to herself, she's just like, I'll just keep it in. I'll deal with it, and then once I have it figured out, then I'll let everyone else know, kind of thing. It's not good. I'm not saying it's good, but that's like her mindset.
That is her mindset, and maybe it's because I've kind of always been the help others before myself person, and only recently have I realized that I have to take care of myself too. So like I've really been on this like if you need help, ask for it kind of kick, especially like with everything that's happened recently with a lot of celebrities. So like for me to sit here and watch her just push everybody away when she clearly needs someone to talk to and she needs help really frustrated me. That's why I was like I called her all these bad names, like you're just being stupid and like I used, like I said, I use very colorful language.
I mean, I remember having my first heartbreak and not wanting to talk to anyone about it, just keeping it to yourself, because there's emotions that you have no clue you're even capable of having. Yeah. And you're like, what do I do with these? How do I do this?
How do I do things?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, everybody's got their own way of dealing it. Me personally, when I'm upset, angry, frustrated, whatever, I walk. And I don't know where the hell I end up because I don't walk with a destination. I just walk and I keep walking and I just turn and go down streets and things and ways that I've never even been. And then it's when I'm done, that's when I'm like, shit, where am I? You know, that's a problem because then I'm already exhausted. And I usually don't stop walking until the point where I feel like I can't walk anymore. So, you know, that's never a good thing.
I don't think Supergirl has that issue. I think she has unlimited
stamina. She flies
just around. She could just around the world.
That would be actually kind of cool. Something goes wrong, you could fly off and just be silent with yourself for a while. I think that'd be like really awesome.
And sip Mai Tais on the beach.
Mm-hmm. What? I'll be back in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really.
So.
Damn. It's kind of like the Flash. He could be anywhere he wants and like just take a little vacation, be like, "I'll be back in the morning," and he really would be back in the morning. Yeah, Aruba.
Oh,
but
Jamaica, Bahamas.
Yes, but yeah, we mentioned that Kara's having dreams. She's dreaming of herself in a field in a pretty dress and frolicking through the field, and Mon-El's there, and her mother's there, and then we see her. That she was spacing out. She's actually like on a rooftop in National City.
So she was floating in the middle of the air.
She was floating in the sky.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it was partly her zoning out, but also her trying to focus on the things going on around her. Because as soon as she heard those sirens, she was gone and she took off. So I think it was a combination of the two. It was kind of
almost like Daredevil, where Daredevil just sits there and listens, and then he like hones in on something. That's what Supergirl's kind of doing. She's like honing in because like the criminals started coming, and then we see Alex and Maggie like tracking them down in the car, and they're about to get destroyed by a giant Gatling gun, and Supergirl just stands in front of it, and she saves them, throws the guy onto a truck, and then stops the original truck from plowing through, a minivan, SUV, whatever, full of a family.
A family, yeah.
And she just flies away after that. And Maggie was like, was it Maggie or Alex? I don't remember. One of them is like, oh, she doesn't even stop for autographs anymore.
That was Maggie, yeah.
Yeah.
Did any of you like get the feeling? Because we've heard rumors about a Black Lightning CW TV show coming out, right?
It's not rumors. It's happening.
Well, I mean, I haven't really seen anything of it like being concrete. I think it's
this season.
Is it quarterly in the winter?
Yes.
Okay, so when he brought out that rod with the lightning to fight Supergirl with, I was like, wait a tech. Is this like kind of backdoorish a little bit?
No, there's no crossover.
There's nothing. I knew that. That's why I was really questioning myself. I'm like, this isn't the same guy, the same actor, the same character, but like it at the same time it felt like it because of the way he was dressed and fighting with the rod. I was like, is this kind of like beforehand? But it's not beforehand. It's not. It's a completely different character, but my brain was going straight to Black Lightning. I don't think I'm interested in it, but at the same time, I'm like, now I'm intrigued. So I don't know if that was like a ploy to be like, hey, guess what? Me just overthinking it, or
probably.
I don't know. Maybe it was intentional. I have no idea.
It might have been little intentional. Here, have a little nugget.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. But we find out that it's not just like this kind of stuff that Kara is doing. Kara is literally doing like petty police work, like everything but parking tickets, I believe.
Well, like I said, she's trying to, like when you throw yourself into work after something bad happens, she's just throwing herself into her Supergirl work, trying not to think about all these feelings and what she's going through. So anything to keep her mind off of it is what she's doing. Anything.
But she threw away, like, the opportunity away for free appetizers.
I know.
Nobody fucking does that. Even a Kryptonian. You go there and you eat the fucking food. Mm-hmm. It's free.
Yeah, no. She definitely, I mean, I think towards the end she did realize that she needs to just, I mean, it's been 6 months, but she does need to break out of the shell that she's created around herself.
I think she also realized that, even especially after Alex told her she was done dealing with this bullshit, dealing with this attitude, she realized that everybody else is done too. So now she's going to be the odd man out no matter what. They're not going to invite her to things anymore because they're done dealing with that shit. If
she does turn around by the end of the episode.
She came to realize that she needs to be more active. Otherwise, everybody's just not. They're not going to forget about her, but they're not going to include her anymore because it's too much time and effort and wasted energy on their parts.
I don't necessarily think it was that. I think she might have realized that no matter how much sulking or introspective or heartache she's in, it's not going to bring him back. So she kind of has to go on with her life, no matter what.
Right.
And sometimes you just have to jump with both feet in at the same time. And that's what she did.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think she has one foot in the door. Like, she's growing. She's accepting that. But, I mean, she's not completely applying herself right now.
No, it's going to take time. And it does happen that way. It's just like, you have to just suck up no matter how many tears I cried, how much, cake I eat, ice cream I shove in my face is not going to make him come back.
Yep.
So.
We are introduced to a new character that many of you may remember, Nathan from Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
He is
he was also in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, he played the
Talbot.
Yeah, Talbot.
Talbot, the dickhead.
Morgan Edge.
He's a dickhead.
He was.
They did a really good job of establishing him as an asshole right up in front, off the bat. Because he had like a press conference type thing with, not press, but, like important people. Mm-hmm. And Catco Media was there, so there was a little press. There was, James was there, but we also had Lena and a bunch of other people that we're not quite sure who they were, but they seemed important. And he got in to start accusing Lena and her family for being responsible for the aliens, starts blaming James and Catco for giving way too much good press to Lena. He's like already butting heads with the two of them, and then reveals that he's gonna be purchasing Catco. And Lena looked into it, and apparently he had slowly been buying up shares, and then talked to the majority shareholders. And we find out he's working with the criminal that Kara stopped at the beginning, the superhuman. I can't call him an alien yet. Normally when they're aliens, we see eyes flashing and stuff like that. So I'm just going to say he's superhuman for the time being. But
I feel that.
I don't think he's superhuman. I think he's military trained.
Yeah, he's definitely guaranteed military trained.
He survived being thrown that far into a truck that's not military trained. You cannot military train yourself from getting thrown into the head of a thing, getting crushed into the roof of it, and then rolling off the roof and walking away. That's not military.
To be honest, I don't think they thought that far. I don't think he's superhuman. I think he is military trained. He was wearing the proper armor. He was decked out. If he was superhuman, I don't think he would have used a Gatling gun. Mm-mm. Well, I mean, that was to be at Maggie and Alex, but like a lightning rod. like a baton, I don't think I think he would have thrown himself at Kara.
He could be biologically enhanced.
No, I don't think he's...
That's being superhuman.
I don't think he's superhuman.
I'm not saying he has, like, magic powers. I'm not saying he can fly or anything like that, but, you know, I think he's biologically enhanced. He's not a regular human.
I mean, I see what's going on in chat. His name is Bloodsport. I mean, I completely forgot about that. Mm-hmm. Lee saying he's not an alien. And
no, I know. That's what I said.
And I feel like he's not superhuman either. I just think he's
so
very well trained and very intelligent.
As Lee says in the comics, he was created in the 1980s as a Vietnam vet. So they alter stories all the time on shows like this. I feel like he's going to be like a experiment type thing that was worked on.
Well, we know he has access to alien tech. Alien tech could make him a little bit more susceptible to being thrown around.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's like a bit of a Captain America type thing where he's experimented on. He's got something running through his body. So.
Yeah, maybe he's got like some alien steroids or something. I don't know.
That's what I mean by superhuman. Like, he's been altered. He's not a regular human being.
I don't think it's permanently altered.
Oh, I didn't say that.
I don't think he's altered. I just think if he's military trained to the point, like, even like SEAL teams and stuff like that, they know how to fall from pretty high distances and to roll with it. Oh, believe me, I've known a couple. It's pretty intense.
Well, we'll see. But apparently he had bombed City Hall. He is ex-military from a base that was just out of town. We find out the base was hacked into. Wynn finds that out, so Supergirl goes to investigate. And apparently there's a cloaked Daxamite warship there. So there's definitely something else
John Jones wasn't
there.
Too happy about that one.
No, but
I have never seen him.
Robert Dubois was the security guard of that facility beforehand, so he had access. He knew the ins and outs. He knew all of the security procedures, the blind spots, the weaknesses in their system, everything. So, you know, he was perfect access to do that. But Sally said, is Cadmus still around? Maybe there's a connection there. And that's more along the lines of what I was thinking. Is Cadmus was experimenting on him. But we found out that Cat Grant relinquished all her shares. She had to put them into a blind trust because she became press secretary for the president.
She's doing better for the fictional president than... Never mind.
Yeah, no, because the way they were making insinuations about the president in this, I'm sitting there thinking they're talking about Trump, but we have to remember the president is a female over here.
Yes,
and an alien, but then the rest of the world doesn't know that, but we do.
It's Wonder Woman.
Yeah, pretty much. So Lena ends up buying all the shares of Catgo out from under Mr. Morgan Edge. And then he barges in to threaten Lena. Just so happens that Kara's there. Kara sees herself out, and then Supergirl comes flying in. And she grabs him, flies him out to a barge, sailing off in the sea, drops him off, threatens him, and then leaves. So, like, Morgan's saying, this is his city, he's coming in doing this, and then Supergirl's like, no, this is my city,
I just love his face when Lena's like most of your dates, I don't care about you, or whatever she said, and his face was just like,
yeah.
Crap. He feels like he has the upper hand in all the things, including the ladies. So when he gets
just got a max emasculated right there.
See, Kara put two and two together, and the attacks that we had earlier, which we had the Girl of Steel statue unveiling with Lena there, the place was attacked. It was attacked by Sub from Underground, and it was Bloodsport. He was doing it, but we found out sooner than Kara did that Bloodsport and Morgan Edge are tied. They're something going on together.
Yeah.
But Kara, Supergirl, figures this out pretty quickly after the fact. But during that, it was a cloak sub. It attacked Supergirl, whatever. It hit her dead on, knocked her out. She's unconscious underwater, can't breathe underwater. So water is, I guess, Kryptonian's biggest weakness when you think about it. From an Earth standpoint,
To be fair, can kryptonite. You breathe underwater?
I'm not a fish. I'm not Aquaman.
Well, either is she.
I know, but I'm just saying. So
that doesn't mean
she has a weakness on Earth. It's not kryptonite. That's all I'm pointing out. So she wakes up at the last second before she drowns because Mon-El came to her in her dream and yelled at her to wake up. So at this point now, I'm sitting here going, oh God, is Supergirl going to become like an adrenaline junkie now that Mon-El is going to be popping up in her dreams all the time, when she's doing stupid shit to, snap her out of it?
I mean, it's either Mon-El or her zombie mother, so I mean, come on.
Well,
and what the hell was that?
That's something else. We'll get into that in a bit. But we see this girl now. The little daughter bumped into Maggie, not Maggie, Alex, earlier in the episode. And then I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. That's going to be important. And as it goes on, the debris that was falling, scaffolding, and all this stuff from the submarine attacks falls on this girl, on her daughter. And I'm sitting there going, oh God, this little girl just got crushed. And the mother's going to be devastated, and she's going to turn into a villain for, Supergirl not saving her daughter, but saving everyone else. And that's what I was expecting. But apparently this giant metal scaffolding didn't crush her daughter. Just pinned her down. And the mother got what seemed to be, at first, an adrenaline rush, allowing her to rip the scaffolding off until she started crushing the scaffolding with her hands.
Yeah, I was totally, because it's known to happen when your babies are in trouble. You do things you didn't know you could do.
There's reports of mothers lifting cars off of children, adrenaline hits hard. So that's what I thought it was at first.
Yeah. And then she crushed it like a cardboard tube.
The thing is, she was surprised.
She was.
She's either half alien, or she just has been on Earth since she's been little and
I believe she's full alien. I believe her daughter. I believe her daughter is not. Her daughter's half.
Yeah.
But we did see when they panned over the harbor on the way back, we saw a crashed ship underwater. It looked like a Kryptonian ship.
It did look Kryptonian.
It looked like, the one that Mon-El came in. It looked like the one that Kara came in. It looked like the one Clark came in. So
she could have been found, had no memory.
That's exactly
lost her memory. Just like Mon-El had no memory.
I think she was too young. She came right over, So Lee's saying she's Rain, which is what I was reading going around. But she has no memory of who she is, so she was probably brought in very young, and she doesn't know, but her daughter is not, is half. So the big rumor going around is that the daughter was going to become Supergirl's sidekick. That's what I was reading earlier. I think actually Lee might have mentioned that as well.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Lee says there are rumors the Rain's 12-year-old will die this season. Oh, the daughter will die this season. Remember that
I hate rumors like that.
Well, then she'll come back and get turned into Rain? I don't know.
No.
The mother's in the baby in season 2 final scene. Okay, yeah, I didn't even realize that. So
she could be, or it could be something totally different. We don't know yet.
Yeah,
it's all speculation right now. Now, it's all up in the air because they're not showing their hand. his hands right now. So
I don't know. I think it's too early to tell.
No, so it's all like I said, it's all guessing.
Yep.
You can guess. You can do our spaghetti theories.
I like spaghetti theories.
I like spaghetti.
Rumple is Peter Pan, or Peter Pan's Rumple's dad thing, Spoilers. But yeah, right now, that's all we got.
I don't know. I mean, we talked about, Kara and her attitude and everybody getting down on her. I think the only person who didn't really approach her as far as, get your act together was Win.
Yeah.
But he was trying to do it in his way, which was, try to be comedic, crack jokes, make her a little bit more loose. But, she wasn't, nope, none of that.
Oh, and then we had, I mean, there wasn't very much of it, but then we had the other story going through their, the wedding.
Yeah, with that was what actually surprised me, because there was at one point where, like, I don't remember how it came out, but I heard the word fiance, and I was like, wait, Alex and Maggie are engaged?
Yeah.
And I just, like, my eyes kind of popped out of my head a little bit. Like, I didn't expect that to happen.
My brain started going, was this announced at the end of last season and I forgot about it? And I'm, like, trying to rewind through my head, and I was like,
no, it didn't. It happened within this, like, 5-6 month time frame that they jumped from last season. So, like, the moment I heard it, I was just like, why didn't I expect this to happen? Like, I was really shocked. And then, like, later on at the Girl of Steel reveal, they had the whole, like, are you sure you want to marry me talk? And I was like,
I'm like, okay, just because, she's concerned about her sister doesn't mean she doesn't want to marry.
She's a little preoccupied because Kara is acting extremely weird, and Alex wants her to be a part of this wedding. She wants her to be a part of this experience, and Kara doesn't want anything to do about it. So of course she's going to be concerned, a little bit disjointed.
Hello, she turned down pot stickers.
But like, and then Maggie's like, "Are you sure you don't want to marry? Are you sure you want to marry me?" It's like, Maggie, have you been paying any fucking attention? Like, seriously, you're being a little insensitive.
It's not always about you.
I realize it's your wedding, but at the same time, Kara is part of Alex's life, and if you had been paying any attention, which you've been there the whole fucking time so far, you think she would kind of get the idea that, oh, Alex is worried about her sister. Maybe I should be like, are you okay? You want me to help you with Kara? Instead of being like, what about me, bitch?
Yeah.
But I do love the fact that, one of her worries was about her dad. And a lot of girls do. They worry about, their dad walking them down the aisle, because that's all their big dream. That's a big thing. It's a big tradition.
Mm-hmm. I knew it was going to come down to John doing it.
Yeah, I didn't have my dad walking down. I got married in a farm. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, after she was like, my dad can't do it, I'm like, well, ask John. That was my first thought in my head. I was like, dude, ask John. Ask John, he'll do it.
I love when she asked him, it was almost like, I'm not crying, you're crying. It was like one of those.
She was like,
if you cry, I'm gonna cry, that everyone's gonna know that we could cry.
We can cry.
Yeah.
It was so funny. I love that scene. That was I think that was the scene that made it for me, to be honest. Like, the rest of the episode I was meh on, but like, that scene was perfect.
Yep.
So.
But yeah, I like that little.
It was the little scenes that made a difference.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully she'll start coming. I mean, I have a feeling the season is gonna definitely be darker.
I really hope so.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't want it to stay perpetually dark. I don't want it to stay like Arrow vibe. I want it.
She's gonna eventually come out of this.
Oh yeah, she's gonna come around by mid-season. Definitely. I think what's gonna keep the darker tone is the fact that the city is going to be broken down because they're still recovering from the invasion. Yeah. And then we're gonna get another.
And then you get Lena owning Catco now, and then he's going to be pushing back, and there's going to be a big tug of war. So there's going to be a lot of darkness.
Yep.
Maybe they'll find a way to get him back.
You mean Mon-El? I feel like he's coming back in some form.
I don't love just in dream sequences, people. It's not cool.
Because, he grew on everybody and until the end of the season, and then they just ripped him away.
I almost wish they didn't show him at all this episode. Because anytime they show a character...
off a Band-Aid.
Yeah, anytime they show a character, like, I feel like he's coming back, and I don't feel like he ever left when they do that. And then when he comes back, it's just like, okay, well, you were kind of here the whole time. It doesn't... If I'm still seeing you on the show, I don't care if it's in flashbacks or dreams or whatever, when you come back, it has little impact on me, because I was like, you never left in my eyes. So. Well,
can we also talk about, zombie, it almost looked like she was underwater.
Yeah, well, I was also going to say, like, the dark arc, that's what I'm going to call that, the dark arc. Like, for Supergirl, when the show really changed for me, was the Red Kryptonite episode when Kara was affected by the Red Kryptonite and became like the villain for I was like, oh wow, I really like the show. I feel like that was back in season 1. I was like, that's when the show hit its stride.
That was the episode I started on. So like I came into the season, into the show, the series with that episode. So I was pretty impressed. So no, I get that. Like that was definitely a turning point because I went back and I watched all the other ones and they were all meh to me because I started on the Red Kryptonite episode. But like is it because of her inner turmoil? She's seeing her mom as this like wraith-like figure, or is there something really wrong with her?
Wasn't her dream about
No, that was not her dream.
That was not her dream. That was the woman's dream that saved her daughter.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and to me, the way that she looked like the Pirates of the Caribbean with the mermaids when they get evil. That's what she looked like.
Yeah.
An evil mermaid. That's and then they showed the thing underwater. I'm like, huh? So
I think I kind of just like pushed that aside because we started off the episode with this field and Kara's mother, and then then it's Kara's mother turning into this wraith, and I'm like, I just automatically connected it to Kara.
No, because as soon as that scene ended, the girl woke up out of a dream, and she's sitting there, and she sat up in bed.
That does make sense now if we're gonna like connect it to season 2, that maybe she was the baby that was born in like that dark ritual, and she is like she grew up on Earth kind of thing.
Well,
and
it wasn't really a dark ritual. It was the council that was creating like a super weapon, right? And they were experimenting on children. So it's not that she was born through the council, but
we don't know
something was going on. And the thing with Rain was made by, I think it was the Kryptonian Science Council.
Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah.
It was meant to basically be a super weapon. It was like a biological weapon. So like a nuke.
Yeah.
So
I mean, but it does make a little bit of sense now that she possibly was that experimented child, and I think they must have sent her almost immediately after she was created, kind of thing, to wherever they needed to send her, which ended up being Earth. She was raised human.
She was like she's the same age as Clark.
Yeah. So, like, she was raised human, so she wasn't aware that she had these powers, and the catalyst was that sense of threatening or to save her daughter, like, extreme emotion.
Yeah. I mean, there were 5 children that were done like this. Last season we saw one of them. Does not necessarily mean the same one that we saw last season is her.
No.
But there were 5 total, so I feel like when Krypton was blowing up, that they were sent. And she's one of them. Doesn't know who she is. So if she is in fact Reign, then that makes a lot of sense. So
yeah.
But yeah, do you guys have anything else?
Not really.
More questions than answers so far.
Of course.
Well, I mean,
wouldn't
that's
be
how...
a season premiere.
Exactly.
Right.
So
Oh, another thing that probably, because made Kara turn around was when Lena called Kara her best friend.
Her BFF.
Yeah, so like it wasn't just because Lena, she doesn't know about Supergirl. She has no idea. Like she hasn't made that connection yet. Her mom has, but Lena hasn't. So for her to go to Kara and say you're my best friend, when she's dealing with all this stuff, along with all the other people telling her to get her shit together.
Yeah.
Well, Lena wasn't really telling her to get shit. It's just you haven't been returning my calls, going to lunch. What's going on? What's up? All right, I'll let you get your space. Just hit me up when you're ready, kind of thing.
But she did at the end. She did say, "Kara, you're my best friend," and of course that would resonate with her, and say, "Okay, well, Kara needs to be around for the people, for other people, because Kara is just as important as Supergirl."
Yes.
Yeah. So next episode is called Triggers, and
I hate that word.
So Rachel, you like me? The word trigger triggers you.
Triggered.
Yeah.
Trigger.
Sai, a thief with psychic powers, attacks National City, able to immobilize people by tapping into their worst fears. Sai proves a formidable opponent for Supergirl. Meanwhile, James and Lena are at an impasse, and Samantha starts her new job at L Corp. So
I know I think it was Aubrey mentioned up in chat near the beginning of the podcast that he feels like there's sexual tension between Jimmy and Lena. I just feel like they're just colleagues in passing because they both own corporations in the same city. And at this point, the impasse is because Lena bought Catco and Jimmy was running Catco at before this whole ordeal happened.
I don't know. So. Just thinking of Jimmy and Lena together, it's just like, no.
Don't ship that, please.
I won't ship that.
Anyways, yeah.
Yep. But we do have our 4-show crossover coming up this season. I believe it is around episode 8.
Okay.
I'm going to have to make me watch the Flash.
Yeah.
And I'm going to watch Arrow.
And it is going to be the Crisis on Earth X storyline.
So is this Earth X or is it Earth S? Are they confirming that this the one that they're on is Earth X? Or are they going to a completely different Earth and just meeting there and having a party?
I don't know.
Earth 69.
But
that's where the parties are.
There's major spoilers for events that are happening this season. So if you guys don't want to know, go away now, because the rest of the podcast is over. We're talking about upcoming stuff for the rest of the DC Universe TV series. So the Crisis on Earth X is going to cross over all 4 episodes. Supergirl, Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow. It will begin on November 27th, starting with Supergirl and Arrow, and it will conclude on the 28th with Flash and Legends. So
right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So Crisis on Earth X sees Barry Allen and Iris West's friends coming to Central City for their wedding, only to be interrupted when villains from Earth X disrupt the proceedings.
Of course there's a wedding that has to be interrupted.
Mm-hmm.
It's not season 7 yet, guys. Come on.
Well, if you add up all of the shows...
No, we're not. No, that's a technicality. It does not work that way.
If you add up all the shows, we're in like season 14. So
that's double 7.
Yeah, so it's time for 2 weddings, Alex and Maggie and Barry and Iris.
Oh yeah, I forgot about.
So there we go.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Development for the crossover between the 4 series began in December of 2016 after the release of the previous crossover Invasion. The premise and the title of the crossover were revealed in September 2017 as production on the episodes began, with it noted that elements from the animated web series Freedom Fighters The Ray would be part of the crossover, including the live-action appearance of The Ray. So... yeah, so there is a live-action web series called The Freedom Fighters, an animated web series called The Freedom Fighters, which you can catch on CWC Seed that is tying into this crossover. So
okay. Now they're actually... Are we going to cover that?
We should, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Little extra content for you guys.
Yep, and we got to cover the season 2 of Vixen as well. So we'll get those in.
I think episode 4 of Supergirl is another one that Smith.
Kevin Smith. Okay.
He's doing a lot more this year.
I hope so. His episodes are always a breath of fresh air. So.
Kevin Smith, episode 5, undisclosed title at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I know he's doing a couple Supergirls. I think he might be doing some more Flash and Legends, and I think he might be doing Arrow this year. I'm not positive. They're bringing him in for a lot, so.
Yep. And it looks like the crossover event is going to be just before our mid-season break. So.
Okay.
That's probably.
We're going to be left on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, so I think that's about it. Nikki, where can people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
Excellent. Rachel, where can people find you?
Find me at Twitter at VikingWitch76 and at Twitch at VikingWitch, which I probably won't be streaming this week because I have a bad cold.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. You can find us all on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter. Rachel, since you have the cough, you want to get the next line?
Shut up.
Nice. And right here on YouTube at /ASO TV Podcast for some podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies. Until next time, see you guys later.
Meow. Do, 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 do.
Meow, meow, meow.